Thank you for visiting Tips 1. I'm Philip Port, Immigration Advisor for almost 20 years. Today I'm going to speak to you and talk you through the online application for the UK visa. It's 3 stages and I'm going to take you through all the 3 stages in this video online. I'm going to show you the online application form, how to open an account, how to close the account and confirm, and all the tricky questions on the application, how to answer them. So I'm going to talk you all the way through that. If at the end of the video you found the information informative, if you could do me a big favour and subscribe. It is free advice. It is accurate advice. Like I said, I've been doing it for 20 years. So I'm now going to go to the online application. Please follow me. So the first thing we have to do is open an account. So we go to visaforuk.fco.gov.uk and press on that. That will take us to the home page. It says Home, Welcome. So what we need to do now is we need to register an account. So we click here, and here it asks for your name, your details. So we're going to open up the account. I'm just going to do it on my name, Philip Port, date of birth. Just going to make up a date of birth. Male. I'm going to put myself as Russian. Help language, you can put any help language you want. Obviously if you're Russian you put Russian, if you speak Spanish you put Spanish. I'm going to use English. Right, now the email address I'm going to use, Lydia Carlson, Lydia, sorry about the delay, Lydia Carlson You've got to confirm the email. And then any number, and then your address, postcode, country, Russia, and then you create a password. And I agree to terms and conditions, and that's the account registered, and you'll now receive an email. It says your registration details were created successfully. You have been sent an email. So I then log into the email, and it hasn't arrived yet. Typical. I'm gonna put the video on hold for 1 minute while we wait for the email to come, because I cannot log into the account until I have the email. So we've now received the email at last. It does take about 2-3 minutes, and once you receive the email you just click on this link here, the visaforuk.fco.gov, account, confirmation, registration. Click on that and it will bring you to here to log in. We now log in, and obviously you put in the email that you created and you put in the password that you created and you log in. Right, then you click apply for myself. If you're applying for family members, you can click apply for, you know, your children, your husband, friends or family. You can apply for someone else, but I'm going to apply for myself. Click here, press continue. It says about false documents there, do not supply false documents. 10-year ban if you get caught. Always supply genuine documents. If you cannot supply documents, you know, explain why, you know, give a good reason. So because I'm applying for myself, it already automatically fills in the information, like the email, my name, my last name. Here I'm going to type in the passport number. It's got my date of birth already, intended date of travel, let's say May 20th. You can only apply 3 months before the date of travel. So if you're travelling in 4 months' time, you'd have to wait a month. You can't travel. That's for general visit visas. Settlement visas, you can apply earlier. And so location Russia, country of nationality Russia, and here we've got all the different categories. We've got visit, study, work, settlement. Settlement is if you're going to live permanently in the UK. Work, normally you would have a highly trusted sponsor, you know, an employer in the UK who would issue you an invitation with a highly trusted sponsor number, or a course certificate of acceptance. So if you're studying, it's a certificate of acceptance. But we're going to apply for the visit visa today. It's got lots of subcategories. Children always apply under this category. There's no other category. Tourism, you could be visiting family, you could be going there on business. If you're going there on business, make sure you've got a business invitation, or if you're attending a conference or an exhibition, make sure you've got a ticket to that event. Sports visa, if you're going there just to do a sporting event. Religious visas, if you're going there for religious reasons, but we're applying for tourism. If you apply for 6 months, you'll be given a multiple visa. If you can show a need to keep going to the UK, you can apply for 2, 5 or 10 years. Russians quite easily get them, but if you're from Pakistan or India, a little bit more difficult. So you need a lot of supporting documents and really a strong need to keep going. At the moment it's $116 for the 6-month multiple visa, and these are always no. If they are yes, then you might be applying for the wrong visa. So do you intend to work in the UK? No. Is the main purpose of trip stay with family members? If it was, you'd apply for a family visit visa. So now we click on create application, and that will take us back to view my applications. It always takes you back there, and so you can see travel date 20th of May, application started 12th of April, and we now click on go to my applications. Because I'm applying for myself and because I completed the first stage, my details are already in there. If I've got any previous names, so if I'm a woman and I've been married before, maybe I've got a previous name, you put it there. Place of birth, Moscow, Russia. Do you hold or have held any other nationalities? If you're from Kazakhstan but you've got a Russian passport, you would click yes if you had the passport, if you was a citizen. Your current passport that you're going to use for the application, place of issue, Russia, issuing authorities, normally FMS, Federal Migration Services, if it was again in Russia, with a number 555, date of issue of passport, expiry date of passport, current location, Russia, Are you a national of the country you're applying? Yes. Is this your first passport? If I click no, it'll ask for previous passport details, and it will ask where is that passport now. So if it's been returned by passport office, you put returned by passport issuer, or if you've lost, or if it's in your possession, I'm going to put it's my first passport. Are you travelling with anybody? Yes. You put all your family details, you put the family name, given names, date of birth, visa held. Maybe they don't need a visa, so you just put no visa needed, but you put all the details of friends and family there. I'm going to click no again. How long do you intend to stay in the UK? I wouldn't put more than 17-18 days. You know, not many people go on holiday for much longer than that. If you go on holiday for 2-3 months, it's all probability the embassy will refuse. You know, how can you do your job in Russia if you're in England for 2-3 months? You know, you need a really strong reason to go for that length of time. Here, I'm just going to put in any postcode, NW1, click on here, find address, NW1, let's say 8JU, let's see, okay, I'm going to put a genuine address I can't find, so I'm going to put my address in Northeast 64, 6RN, and it will, you know, bring up the address, and you type in, you know, any address. You need a contact number, put in the contact number, and then you go to next selection. Now, if there is any questions missing, it will stay black. If you answer all the questions, then it will go green. So let's say medical treatment. I'm going to click on medical treatment now, and that will ask, have I had any medical treatment in the UK? No. Next selection, and it will go green. Additional information, none. But if there is any additional information, like you've got extra hotels, or you've had a refusal and you want to explain about it, put everything in the additional information. And always save your work, because after about 5-10 minutes it will close you out if you haven't saved. We're now going to go back to passport information. I've saved my work, and we're now back to the home page. As you can see, I've completed medical treatment, additional information I've completed, they've gone green. So every stage must be green before you can confirm the application. And then at the end, you'll be able to read what information you've put and decide whether you need to correct anything. So we've got the address of where I'm going to be staying. Go to next section. Just take a little bit of time. Personal details. I put my home address, put my home postcode, I put my phone number, Russia, email. How long have you lived at this address? Well, I've been living in Moscow many years, but I'm just going to put 3 years. If you're not sure, I put the minimum and use the word over. So if you can't remember you've been there 10 or 11 years, just put over 10 years. Are your preferred contact details different? I always put no, but obviously if you have another address that you want to use, you can use that as well. Have you been issued a visa for UK, Commonwealth in the last 10 years? Yes. Now, it says Commonwealth country. If you've been to somewhere like Australia or New Zealand, I don't put that information. I only put yes to the UK. And then if you visited them, I put in a different section that. So then it will ask for the type of visa. Normally it's like a C visit if you've been there on, you know, holiday. Date of issue, let's put February 2015. Date of expiry, that's 2000 and let's put 6 months, 7th of Feb. And then issue an authority, UK Embassy, Moscow. But you might need to look on your visa. It might say Sheffield if it was issued in Sheffield, but you put the place where you applied, the city, and then that information will go in there. Have you ever travelled to the UK in the last 10 years? You have to put the 5 most recent trips: date of arrival, date of departure, purpose of trip. Now, if you've been there many times and you've been there for long periods, the chances are they will refuse you the visa. You better seek advice. You can't lie. You've got to put the accurate dates, because if they catch you out, it'll be a 10-year ban. Have you made, I'm going to put no for that, but just to get to the next level, have you made an application to the Home Office? That's normally no, but obviously if you've applied for a visa in the UK or an extension of the visa in the UK, that should be yes. Have you ever been refused entry into the UK? Obviously normally that's no. Have you ever been refused a visa for any country including the UK? If you have put it, at the moment they're not swapping information, but in the future they might. So Schengen zone might swap information with Britain, or the Americans might swap information with Britain, and that's mainly because of terrorism. They're very scared of terrorism, so I think in the future, so it's always better to put the refusals. I do it all the time and my clients still get the visas, so but I'm just going to put no. Been deported. Normally all these questions are no. Have you ever travelled outside your country of residence, excluding the UK? Now, date of travel, country visited, America, reason for trip, tourism. You know, have you been to Germany, France? Same thing. If it was medical reasons, reason for trip, medical. If it was business, put business. If you travel a lot, the embassy could have concerns about your job, so it's better to explain, you know, I went there for business, that's why I travel a lot, because again they're going to be thinking, hold on, you're always in France, Italy, Germany, you're always travelling, how can you do your job back in Russia? I'm just going to put no for that to go to the next stage. No, I've had any convictions, all these are no, and that should go green once we, you know, what language? Put Russian if they want to interview you. If you speak good English, I would put English, because it's better to speak to an entry clearance officer rather than his assistant. If you start speaking to the assistants, then things go wrong. Mistakes in translations, the interpretation. It's always better to speak yourself, so it's better to put English if you speak good English. You do not want to be speaking to an intermediary or a translator. You want to be speaking directly to the entry clearance officer. And then we're going to click next. We're now on family details, so you've got to put details about whether you're single, married, civil partner. Civil partner is when you're married to another man, or a woman is married to another woman. Unmarried partner is when you live together about 2 years, or if you've got children together. Remember, only your husband or your parents, if you're under 18, can sponsor your trip. Nobody else can sponsor it. You've got to show that you can support yourself. So let's say you put married. It says, will your sponsor, or your spouse, partner travel with you? Their passport number, nationality, name, surname, date of birth. Does your partner currently live with you? So I'm just gonna put that I'm single, just to not have these questions. Then it asks for your father's nationality. I'm gonna put something in here just to get to the next stage. Just to get to the next level, so it turns green, and then it'll ask for your mother's details. What is her nationality? Okay. Family name, given name, date of birth. I'm just putting anything in there just to get to know. Now then it'll ask you about your children's details and whether they will travel with you. So it asks for passport number, surname, given names, date of birth, place of birth, is the child living with you, is the child travelling with you, does the child currently live with you? And then because it's in red you have to answer it, just put lives with me. If the child doesn't live with you, then you've got to put the address and everything in here. You type in Russia now, and then you press add, and you add the, oh sorry I didn't think, but anyway I'm gonna that's basically, you've got to answer all the red marks. I'm going to put no for children just to get to the next stage to turn it green. Non-dependent children or any other children travelling with you. In other words, you'll need permission from the parents if any of the children are travelling with you. Normally it's school teachers and they're taking a group this applies to. So I'm just going to click no. It's the same questions, and then click next. And that should turn green. Family details has now turned green. Employment. So if you've ever worked for the government, judiciary, police, been in the army, you must put previous history. I'm going to click no to that. What is your current working status? If you're employed full-time, you need a letter from your employer confirming your salary, start date, position, and that they're going to give you a holiday for the period that you've requested your visa for. So I'm going to put employed full-time. Then it asks your monthly income after tax, name of the company you work for, like my company's called Happy, so I've put Happy. Job description, well I'm an immigration advisor, type of work undertaken, immigration advice. And then you put your office address, you put the country, and I'm just going to complete it so I can get to the next level, because I want to turn it green, and telephone number, and I always put an email, always, and when did you start this job? So let's put 5th of April. Do you have any additional jobs? Always better to put, if you have additional jobs. If you put no and they find out you've got an additional job, they could give you a 10-year ban. Always remember the start dates of your job. In other words, always keep a copy of the application, because when you apply for your next visa, if it's different, they will do checks. They will start checking the company, they'll start making phone calls, because you put a different start date of employment, and normally it leads to a 10-year ban. Regarding income and expenditure, I normally put about 30-35% of the salary. This one is, do you have savings, property, or other income, for example, from stocks and shares? I always put no to that question. It's a confusing question, because later on it asks how much is available for your trip, and that's what I use as the guideline for my bank statements, whatever I produce on the bank statement. So yeah, how much do you spend each month on living costs? I normally put 20% of my salary. So if I earn £1,000, or my client earns £1,000, I put 200 GBP. How much is given to family members? I normally do £50 per child. So let's say you've got 2 children, I put 100 GBP. Cost of the trip, this is the flight, the hotel, and your living expenses per day. It cannot be more than your savings. Normally it should cost about half of whatever you've got available for the trip, or £100 a day. So let's say I'm going to put 800 GBP. So that means I should have at least £1,600 in savings, GBP. Right. Cost of your airline ticket, 200 GBP. Cost of your accommodation, I'm going to put 300 GBP. and living expenses 300. That's for your meals and entertainment, things like that. I'm going to put no, is somebody else paying for you. If you put yes, then normally that would be your parents, or if it's a business trip it would be in your employer, and you have to explain why. There's, please explain why they are paying for the trip. I'm going on a conference, my employer is paying for the trip. Please see his covering letter along with my employment letter. So, and obviously you need the invitation if you're going on business, but this is not a business application, it's a tourist application, but it's the same question. So I'm going to click no here. I'm going to go back to the beginning, make sure I've completed it so I can go to the next stage. Do you have any additional paid jobs? I'm going to click no, and I'm going to click next section. And that will take us, it's gone green. Family and friends in the UK. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of not mentioning their boyfriends or girlfriends because they think they're going to get refused. If it was an American visa application, I would be a bit concerned about mentioning boyfriends or girlfriends. They do have a high refusal rate on that. But for UK, the visa is actually easier if you've got a boyfriend or a girlfriend there, as long as you can show that you've met and remained in contact. If you apply for a visa to visit somebody you met on the internet, you need your own hotel accommodation, and just put will you visit them, put yes, but mention additional information. Look, I never met this person before, I only met them on the internet. I'm going there on holiday. While I'm there, I'll meet this person for a coffee or a beer. So that's what I would put in additional information. And then you've got a, it says relationship, family name, given name of the person, if you have family. It says, do you have any family or friends in the UK? Click on add, and it asks for all their details there. Will you visit them? If you're not visiting them, click no. You've got your own hotel booking, but if you are visiting them, click yes, but you still got to mention them. Big problem is if you keep going to the UK, and eventually you're going to get hassled at the immigration office. Why do you keep coming to the UK? They're going to give you lots of problems. They're going to say, well, you've been here 4 times, and also it looks suspicious on future applications. So always mention friends and family, boyfriends or girlfriends, but be descriptive. Just to get to the next stage, I'm going to press tourism, visit the sites of London, and that's all you need to put. And obviously Buckingham Palace, Windsor Palace, Tower of London, and then you go to next. That will then take me to medical treatment, which I've already completed. Takes me to the next stage. So I look at my application. I cannot confirm yet, just simply because information is missing from the passport and travel. So I'm now going to go back to that and complete that section. So we're now back to passport and travel information. I'm just going to quickly fill in anything that is missing, just to get this completed. And then, how long do you intend to stay in the UK? Remember, if you put 4 or 5 weeks, they're going to refuse. Better to put 2-3 weeks unless you have very good reason. I'm not saying to lie, but just bear in mind, if you're going to spend a long time in the UK, tell them and find a very, very strong reason why you need to spend that amount of time. I'm going to put 7 days. And that should be, if I save that now, that will save my all application. Oops, still a part missing. Let's have a look here. What is missing here? I can't see what is missing. Hold on a second. Do you currently ever hold any other nationalities? No. So okay, now I'm going to confirm application, and this will bring up the whole application, everything on the application, so I can quickly check to see if there is anything I need to change. So it's got my name, passport details, issuing dates. Are you traveling with anybody? I've put no, but remember you had all the details if they are. And that is the whole application completed. I now click submit application. Comes up, are you sure you cannot make any changes? I say yes, I am sure, submit. I always keep a copy of the final page before I confirm. The reason being, if you realize there's any mistakes, at least you've got a copy. You then sign application. I just normally copy it like this, cut and paste, copy, sign up declaration, and then put my name in there, fill it port, sign declaration. That will then take me back again to the home page, book appointment, and depending where you want to apply, I normally apply for my clients in Moscow, and the type of, you might want standard, which at the moment is $114. You might want premium lounge, which is an extra £59. Unfortunately, they swap from dollars to euros to pounds, and they give you a terrible exchange rate. If you're a PBS, that's points-based system tier 4, that's where you click there. Or if you want prime time appointment, that's like between 8 and 9 in the morning or late in the evening. It's another way to get extra money out of you, because there is never an appointment available for like 10 days and you need to go tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So it forces you to go premium lounge. At least you get free drinks there and a VIP room, or it forces you to go out of hours, 8 o'clock in the morning or 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. Again, they do it just simply to get the extra revenue. So they make it very difficult to get an appointment. So I'm going to go on next. I'm just going to go standard appointment, and that will take me through. And as you can see, today is the 12th of April. The next appointment is in 8 days time. So you know, there's nothing on the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, nothing at all. So I've got to take that. And there's only one appointment on the 20th. So it forces a lot of people to take premium lounge or out of hours and pay that extra money. It is ridiculous, because often your visa can be running to thousands of dollars when you start taking all these extra services. And I'm going to go next. And then I'm going to, so today it's $116, as you can see. They do round it up to the next level. I'm going to click next. And you click I agree to their ridiculous terms and conditions and make payment. And that will take you through to WorldPay normally. And that is how you get there, and then you just click on MasterCard and pay. So now I'm going to take you back. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to take you back to UK registration. Right, we're now back at the registration page. Get rid of that. I've gone back to visa4uk.fco.gov, and I'm back in my application. And obviously I didn't pay for that, so that's pay for application. Let's pretend that's green, and then you've got to go register at our commercial partners, and that will take you here, and you've got to set up an account, registration, and you've got to put your email address, confirm your email address, enter a password, press I agree and create. That I will speak about in my next video. I'd like to thank you for visiting my YouTube channel Tips 1, and if you have any questions, please email them to me. If you enjoyed the video, as I said at the beginning, please subscribe. I do need subscribers, and thank you very much.